Hello, hello, hello. Happy Thursday. How's everyone doing? Good morning, John. Good morning, Patrick. Good morning, Kevin from Lakeland. Good morning, Jacob. Good morning, Dean. Good morning, Sterling. No problem, Sterling. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, people in the background. Chime in the chat if you choose. We'll see more people filtering in. Lots of financial numbers out this morning. We'll just get straight to it. We had durable goods, big bounce in durable goods, a lot of Boeing plane orders. So that's why that big bounce there. GDP, the final number, although it technically gets still revised more, but they just don't report on it. Hello, Charles. Coming in at minus 0.5. So first quarter final number minus 0.5. Consensus was minus 0.2. Good morning, Royal Palms. Hello, Harold. What else we have? Chicago National Fed Activity Index a little higher, but still negative. What else do we have? GDP Price Index quarter over quarter, 3.8%. Where is it? Core PCE, this is last quarter, coming in at 3.5, so a slight bump up there. Now we have the initial jobless claims dropping from prior, lower from consensus, but still elevated. It's coming in 236. Continuing jobless claims higher than consensus and higher than so continuing jobless claims keeps climbing. Good morning, Heinrich. There we go. So mixed numbers this morning, but market not really reacting at all to them. We still got Fed speak going on. We actually have Fed speak going on now. We have Hammock coming up. We have pending home sales. We got Kansas City Fed and Composite Manufacturing Index. We got Barr speaking this afternoon. We got Cash and Carry speaking this evening. So remember, tomorrow number's the PCE number for May. So we'll check that out tomorrow. But with all very little market reaction so far, just do a quick refresh. Chips, we got Micron, which was a beat yesterday. And chips, NVIDIA to new highs. So it just keeps climbing. Apple and Tesla are the only one. Meta up. Again, I've got I forgot who did an increased price target on that. Groups. Last time I refreshed, everything was positive. Everything's still positive. It's still buy it all, but be very careful. We don't have a key topping pattern yet, but this volume has been pathetic. We're just grinding higher on very low volume. Would not be short in this market without a pattern, but I know where my stops are for any short-term longs. Because when it grinds higher like this on very low volume, you can get something to come out of the blue to shock it. That does not mean crash. That just means, hey, we get a sudden potentially drop. Fed Watch still is, this is dropping, but still has a 75% chance for a pause at the end of July. Fear and greed, still solidly in greed mode. Schiller PE above 37 still. Not much to talk about there. Again, Micron was a beat yesterday. Did not check out Walgreens Boots this morning. Been a little busy, but after close, I will see what Nike's doing. And then tomorrow, Apogee, nothing. So we're wrapping that up. All right. Here's what I'm talking about too. So let me put the volume on real quick. Look at this. Look at this. Just a big grind. Look at this volume. I mean, yesterday, look at that volume. I mean, boy, when's the last time we had volume that low? I mean, look at that. So the Christmas Eve. All right, Christmas Eve was lower. Last year, Christmas Eve. I don't know what that was. Thursday the 9th of January. That can't be correct. Christmas Eve was lower. So that's what I'm talking about. So, you just go, hey, the market's got to be topping. No, and blindly just sell it. No. Also, we could be setting up for another key divergence. Again, I'm paying attention to this and pullbacks on this. I'd be watching the rotations on the area. Now I'm watching for support is 6,100. If we do get a sell-off, especially a multi-day sell. 6,100 to 6,108 is my major support level. The minor, I'll start paying attention if we close below the 8 EMA. If we close, then I'll be more watching for topping patterns or very aggressive shorts. But the next key area before we even get to 6108 is about 6127, near the bottom of the 4-hour rotation zone. So that's what I'm looking for right there. Again, we could get a pullback to the rotation zone and just keep going. I am getting very, very cautious, though. This market, again, on a weekly basis, cycle still at the top, running out of momentum, finally back to overbought conditions. So we could start getting at least a multi-day pullback, if not more than a week pullback at some point. Good morning, Odie Green. Good morning, Anissa. So, but until that happens, I'm cautiously choppy to bullish. The NASDAQ coming up to the next harmonic. By the way, the S&P, sorry, I did take out, it did get to 6171, which was above the prior 6166 highs. So it has, on the futures, has set a new high. NASDAQ also, we know the other day, set a new high, coming up just shy of the next harmonic area. So, what else? Not much there. On pullbacks, I'm bumping this level up right around this key spike high from June 16th. That's my major pullback, about 22,225. My minor levels that I'm looking at, first of all, I'm watching the 8 EMA again on the 4-hour. For if we start closing below that, then those could be aggressive shorts potentially. There's no setup yet. Or I'll be watching for a more substantial topping pattern. And then my key support area is right around this 22,351 in the short term. Again, this is just boring. Hey, Rick. So, what do we have going on in the Dow? Not much to talk about. Little pausing day yesterday. Again, this is still lagging and struggling. We did break out, so again, key support back at 43K. And if that doesn't hold, that would be a little more interesting for me on any pullback. Russell still getting rejected. Pulled back to the daily rotation zone and trying to rotate back up. But again, this 2189 level is very, very key. It has not gotten above there yet. DAX, not much to talk about there just yet. Yields continuing to drop. I mean, there's the rumors that Trump's going to put in place the new Fed chair early, sort of the shadow Fed chair, which again, he wants, and the way he wants stuff, he could probably get somebody to immediately do like a 200 basis point cut. But yields continue to drop. Retested. Now we're down below the next key level of support. So again, rallies looking for rollover plays in that. If you're looking at just the notes, where are my notes? There they are. Any pullbacks watching for still long plays. Key target area is about 112.11 now. Crude, nothing to talk about. Technically, it would be a % beat buy if we got above yesterday's high for a minor bounce, but that would have to be managed really tightly intraday. Natty gas coming back down to 200, and today is contract roll day. That's why you have the gap up. So natty gas is the gap up on the roll. All right, but there's no key bottoming pattern just yet. Gold, nothing. We got the first cross the rotation zone possibly down, but I'm still watching for key support back at the 50. Silver, on the other hand, little spike up. And little spike up. No close above the 62.5. That's what I'm still watching for. Again, did not follow through on a percent beat buy on the silver futures, but some other like PSLV. If you're looking at the stocks, which is did follow through with a percent beat buy yesterday, which is one that I was watching, and it was a rotation zone buy. Dollar index got a lot, so we still rotation zone down. This is nearly off the table, by the way, but we had a cluster right down. If it trades below 96.53, it's the bigger potential double bottoms off the table. But we came right down this harmonic cluster area and bounced. That's why the harmonics are so key for price projections. Also, this is a new 3-year low. We've broken very key support now. So I'll continue to watch for rollover plays in the dollar. And the euro could also possibly run. You see here breaking finally above and fully confirming above that big base. We could easily get to the 119 area again. We could easily get to this 119 area over the next little bit. So we'll be paying attention to that. But the euro spiking up just shy of the 117.47 harmonic and trading back to 117. So that harmonic is pretty much off the table. The potential double tops, both the short and the bigger term, are off the table. Again, anything right now is back to rotation zone, continued buy setups. Good morning, McRangers. Good morning, Ted. All right. A bunch of people are going to get tardy slips. Spiders. Yesterday, reversing at just above the 608.35. So those harmonics are off the table now. The only next one is 609.76. 609.76. And on the spiders, I'm paying attention to the 1-hour rotation zone. So on a pullback, my key support is just above 604.25. When the official gap open here was 604.33. So that's the area I'll be watching on any pullback. I'm watching a 1-hour rotation zone on the spiders. The Qs. So still next target is 544.58. Watching the 1-hour rotation zone on the Qs also. If we did drop back down, I'm paying attention to a prior harmonic projection right around 537.50 in front of the gap up open. What else? Bitcoin. The double that's never triggered, confirmed but never is barely hanging on. This looks like it's forming a channeling corrective pattern, but it's not invalidated yet. Not invalidated yet. Other than that, we're just in a channeling corrective pattern. The non-triggered double turned into a channel. What else do we have? S&P equal weight still having trouble breaking out of this consolidation, where the cap weight continues to climb. The equal weight has not. You have NVIDIA to new highs. NVIDIA to new highs. So that's where that sits right now. If it continues, the next key area is 161.44 area. That's from the reverse harmonics. Back from the lows the 7th of April back to the highs of the 7th of January. So that's the next major level, but this is getting very overextended again. But there's no sell signal yet. It's buy everything, hold your nose. Tesla, again, got rejected from between the 50 and 62.5 the other day and continued its sell-off, but these are just aggressive shorts. There's nothing major for me like a more substantial short position unless it can't hold the 200 again and the 50. URA, yes, URA does have a double top. See? Haha, right there. Very good. Very good. It does have a double top, not triggered, and against the rotation zone. One thing I'd be watching, this would not be one I'd be shorting. It is against the rotation zone. Uranium has broken above the major resistance area. Yeah, could we get all the targets? But yeah, I'm looking. If we do hit all the targets back to the weekly rotation zone, I'm looking for buy setups still in uranium. In the short term, we roll over. I'd be looking for the gap fill to Friday the 13th. But yes, that is a double top against the rotation zone. Very good, Rick. All right. Again, there's not much to talk about. This just keeps grinding higher on very low volume. So I'm in cautious bull mode with trailing. Cautious bull mode with trailing. Not looking to initiate a lot of new stuff. Oh, by the way, uranium also, you can see, is running out of momentum. The RSI was stair-stepping down. So remember, a correction can also take place. Does not have to pull back all the way to the weekly. It can pause. We could have a pause here for a couple weeks. Pull back, pause, and let the weekly rotation zone catch up. So we'll be keeping a close eye on uranium also. Other than that, I don't have much to talk about. So Broadcom also, by the way. Broadcom, yes, this technically is a wide-based double top. But again, who knows if it will ever trigger because, again, rising rotation zone. For me, longs in Broadcom are just, in the short term, just trailing. And I bet you know where the stops are. Sterling's adding to his VIX call positions. The VIX back down to, where's it right now? What is it trading right now? 1661. Coming into a very key support. There is no fear in this market. I think you are spot on. You just do longer duration, Sterling. But yeah, I'm going to be watching for something, especially, you know what? I don't know if the PCE numbers will shock tomorrow, but what do we have going on next week? PCE is key tomorrow, but what do we have going on next week? I'm just peeking ahead. I forgot to look ahead. There's not much next week till you get to ISM services. Next week looks very quiet. And remember, we have July 4th next week, too. So, another thing on when you have something like this, where you have the cycles at the top, they've been at the top for multiple weeks now, which rarely happens. It can happen for an extended period of time, but it's not normal. And then here's my example. When you get the sell-off, we can easily get a quick multi-week sell-off. So that's what I'm watching for. But again, there aren't any key major short setups yet. So with that, I'll let everybody go. Just watch it in the open again. Just a grind higher. Watching that. You can watch the 1 hour, especially about key support going in the open about 61.57 to see if that holds. If not, that's with the rising 8. That's the first area I'll be watching. 61.53 to about 61.57 if we do pull back for a potential bounce. We start closing both 61.53, then I'll be very patient. And that's where we live it. You're welcome, Anissa. And I will see everyone for PCE Friday tomorrow. Have a wonderful trading day and talk to you all later. Bye for now.